Hi everyone, it's Tiffany from My Inner Temple. Thank you for tuning in today. I've got an inspiration to make a video about shadow work and just sharing more of my perspective and knowledge on shadow work, things that I may not have touched on in my previous videos. If you're curious about my previous videos, you can find them on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, and my website as well. So to begin with today's video, I just wanted to talk about shadow work. And some people may think that because of the law of attraction, the more we dive into the shadow, the more shadow is going to come to us. And to me, the term shadow work is simply just another form of light work. Positive focus or spiritual bypassing works to a certain point, but think about the last time you were crying or when you were angry and someone come to you and tell you, stop crying, don't cry, or stop being angry. Did that really make us feel better? In my personal experience, not really. When I'm crying and if someone tells me not to cry, I usually cry even more. Or when I'm angry at something and people say, oh, stop getting angry, I actually get even more angry, but then I would just suppress it within myself. So shadow work is really about making the unconscious conscious, making we so-called shadows into light. Shadows in itself is simply the internal resistant vibration within you that is causing you to be misaligned to source energy. So how do we get back on track? How do we get closer to source energy where we came from in the first place? So if you think about this is source energy, this is us in this lower dimension. The ego keep us, it's almost like an anchor, just sinking us low enough to a certain vibration, and using your internal guiding system, your feelings and emotions, that's the golden thread that will lead you back to source energy. So source is not just like dumping us onto this third, fourth dimension and saying, here, you guys are on your own, figure out this ego thing and figure out how to come back to source. To me, I don't look at it that way. I just think that, they did give us a compass, which is our feelings and emotions. Another example is, think about men in general in our society. A lot of men, unfortunately, were conditioned to suppress their feelings and emotions as a young age. A lot of boys were told not to cry because that's not what a man do, that's not what a boy do. So as a result, they become more and more disassociated with their feelings. Not only are they not able to feel sometimes, they have resistant to feeling these emotions because in the back of their mind, that means that they're not a man. And if you keep digging deeper, it will lead to different core beliefs that I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, or I won't be loved. So I think it is very important to really sit with our emotions as they arise, or as Eckhart Tolle says, the pain body. Just be with the pain body, and instead of resisting it, really allowing it to be there. Because what we resist persists. If you think about the resistance towards your shadows, it's also when that happens, I ask myself, like, what am I resisting? What am I so afraid of? What is within my own conscious awareness that I'm not comfortable with? And if there's parts of me that I'm not comfortable with, how can I be authentic in my own skin? How can I speak my truth or know what my purpose is, or be connected to source, or be intuitive? So these are some of the questions that I ask myself when I feel that resistance. Like, what is so ugly about those shadow aspects that scares us? And when we actually look, as I open the box and look, we realize that those shadow aspects are simply us that did not have certain emotional needs met in the past. So the shadow is not necessarily scary or dark. It's simply something like a dust over a film that you're brushing off to reveal more of your light so that you can shine brighter. The other thing about positive focus might not always work all the time is if you're extrasensory and you're able to see people's auras, or if you are a dowser, you know how to douse aura imbalances, you can see that in most people, there are rips, ruptures, tears, and even sometimes black holes within the person's auric field. Now, let's say this person loves puppies, and we give this person a box of puppies. The person lights up, its vibration is rising a little bit, the aura gets a little brighter. But those ruptures doesn't get brighter, they just don't disappear. It's not like, oh, let's think about puppies, and then those rupture automatically seal itself. So almost think about a physical injury as well. If you broke your arm and you're like, I'm just gonna focus on puppies, it's going to get worse. It's not gonna heal itself. It's still gonna bug you in the back of your mind. So whereas if we put our attention to the broken arm and be like, oh wow, that's a broken arm, that's okay, let's go to the doctor, let's get a cast, help it heal, and making the healing journey a lot smoother as a result. So it's also important to balance shadow work with light work as well. So as much as I do shadow work on myself to really brush off those dusts that is clouding my light or my aura, I also balances it with light modalities like Reiki. Reiki, we associate it with healing life force energy, but a part of Reiki also heals emotional trauma as well. If you're a level 2 practitioner, you know the symbol Seihiki that helps heal the emotional body. So I think that just because the word shadow work seems dark, it doesn't mean that it is all about darkness and we're just going to drill in it like, a little mole hide in the dark tunnel and not wanting to come out to the other side. That's why in my practice as a spiritual healer, why do I have shadow work and Reiki and many other modalities that helps me in my practices? I want to neutralize harmonize energetic field, like just swinging one side to the other. I find that didn't work for me, so I really like the integration of many modalities into one. And that's how my clients see improvements and help themselves align with the life that they want to live is through all of these modalities. And there are thousands of different modalities out there. Maybe my technique that I facilitate might not necessarily be the one for you, and that's okay. I'm not one of those practitioners that tell you, hey, this is for everyone, you need to do this. But if you stumble across this video and if you're curious about shadow work, I think that due to the law of attraction, you are a match to this process, and perhaps there is a good reason to check out shadow work itself. So really just allowing yourself to balance it out, like going within, look into the shadow, as a result becoming light, but also going out to like love light ceremonies. After some intense shadow work sessions, I like to go to Yogi Emmanuel's yoga class. I like to go to Temple Vortex, hang out with Peter and Linda. There's a lot of many events in Eternity that's full of light that you can just reinfuse yourself with some love and balance it out. It's good to, stream healing energy to yourself, but sometimes it's good to receive healing energies from other people as well. The one more thing I want to talk about shadow work is, if you think about, for the sake of this explanation, your soul mission like a straight line. Like I talked about in the beginning of the video, your emotions and feelings are your internal GPS. So every time you deviate from what you truly want, you get this feeling. So for example, if you are in a job that doesn't serve you, or in a relationship that is, hurting you, you get those hurtful feelings, and that's your higher self signaling to you that, hey, there's something that I want you to look at, or I want you to connect with. Those are simply signals. So by doing the technique, this shadow work technique, you are healing yourself so that you become less frequently triggered, and even if you are triggered, which is very normal to be a human being, that it's not so intense, so it's more manageable. You have this new clarity, this new sense of awareness that allows you to navigate through this life. And a lot of times when we're stuck in the shadow, we may feel afraid, like, oh, well, sitting here is not helping me, so this doesn't work. I've been there at one point as well, but what I realized is I didn't have the right tools and techniques under my belt. So just sitting there and just sitting with the anger without any guidance wasn't helping me. It wasn't until that I started learning different modalities, different ways to facilitate shadow work on myself, that I'm like, oh, wow, this is very illuminating, taking my power back from these shadow aspects from the past. And as a result, shifting my entire timeline to a life that I would have never even seen myself walking down 5 years ago. So the other thing about shadows is, when I used to not wanting to think about my past or some of the trauma that I've been through, I feel like I'm giving my power away to either those people or those events. Like, why am I giving my power away to them? Like, by saying that I don't want to speak about this aspect of me, or, using my consciousness to go into the shadow aspect of myself and bring out more light for myself to radiate. I'm basically giving away my power to those circumstances, and I didn't want to live life like that. So I wanted to take my power back and become truly happy within and truly confident in myself, having self-assurance, and getting closer and closer every day to authenticity. So I hope that this video have maybe helped you with your understanding on shadow work a bit more, maybe click some light bulbs, and perhaps you're starting to ask yourself some questions. If you're interested in checking out shadow work, my next workshop, Introduction to Shadow Work, is happening this Sunday at Temple 23 from 12 to 3 p.m. So that's an introduction for 3 hours where I will show you what shadow work is about and really get you attuned to that frequency. If you have been to my past introduction shadow work workshops before, or if you feel like you're ready to even dive deeper, I have shadow work level 2 coming out. It is a 4-week violet flame soul alchemy workshop. So 4-week program where we help you is soul align and heal as you go on this journey, allowing the shadows to become light within you. It's a 4-week program starting on May 31st, every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8:30. It's by video conferencing. So we'll be meeting every Wednesday during that next 4 weeks to and I'll guide you through different types of shadow work techniques. There's different topics each week that we will look into. I'm very excited about this program. I'm only limiting it to 4 participants. So if you're interested and you feel called to dive deeper, please message me and let me know. The details will be launched in the next 2 to 3 days. The price is only $140 for the 4 sessions, plus an aftercare 1-hour session with me privately. Also, you'll get access to my exclusive membership portal where I have spirituality practices and books and video resources to help you continue your journey. My intention is not to just like, oh, take your money and 4 weeks later, bye. Like, that's the last thing that I want to do. I want to make healing services accessible, affordable to people who are ready for it. And so it's only $140 for all of that. It also includes a online course as well called 7-Day Conscious Living Challenge. In there are meditations, breathing exercise, different worksheets that I've used in my other workshops that were receive a lot of positive feedback. So if all those people loved it, I'm sure you would love it as well. If you want to learn more about it, stay tuned. I'll be releasing the details within the next 2 to 3 days. So Thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope to see you at the workshop on Sunday. So have a great day. Bye.